Hello everybody, this is May 2nd, 2024. If you look here, there's a big pipe. We've talked about these before. These are, this is called a drop pipe. As you can see way back in there. This is an 18-inch in diameter. It's around 62 feet to 65 foot long. It's called a drop pipe. What this does is where you have problems with the water cutting across the field and then ending up like in a creek or a low spot, it'll actually back cut the bank and make a pretty good gully. And this is how we stop that. This square piece that is on here is a anti-seep plate. This actually will stop water from potentially coming down as it's draining, following the pipe and going ahead and cutting down along the pipe, so it'll stop that. This plate right here is called an anti-vortex plate. When I get this installed, the water is going to be coming down through here into there and all the way out into the creek. When the water comes around here, and it'll act like a bathtub drain, it'll wash out the bank. So I'm going to have like a little levee across here and then down, and that's supposed to stop the washing around to which creates a hole. You don't want that. So that plate is called the anti-vortex plate. I've hauled some dirt in here from the other side of the farm, well, the other side of the field, to stop this from cutting back into here. What happened was, years ago, we graded this field. It's about a 20-acre field or so. And the way we graded it, or I had it graded, is that all the water comes down to here and then eventually ends up right here. It was spilling off into the creek there, back cutting, and then it's also going down into there, which is where the pipe is actually going to go. So I hauled about 7 loads of dirt in here to fix this spot. It's not 100% fixed, but what I am going to do is pull this bank back, put a slope on it, probably a 2-to-1 or maybe a 3-to-1, which means if it's 20 foot down, I've got to go at least, actually if it's 10 foot down, I got to go at least 20 foot back. So that's a 2-to-1. If it's 3-to-1 and it's 10 foot down, I'll go back here 30 foot and slope it down. But as you can see, it's pretty much straight down. So it's straight down, and I'm going to try, like I said, slope it back. I'm going to leave a little bit of a hump or a levee here, more or less a berm, for when the water does come out of the field, it'll hit this and run down into this pipe, which I'm going to install down here where we're also having some ditching. As you can see, it's starting to get, well, maybe you can't see because it's too thick, starting to see a ditch here. And a ditch, and now we're in a deeper ditch. And there's an old drain tile that we put in years ago. So I'm going to have to get that lined out here. Probably somehow figure out how to dump it into the drop pipe. But look how deep this is. We're at least 6 feet deep, and it just gets deeper down towards the creek. So I'm going to have to fill all this in, actually get this out of here with the excavator, set the pipe down in here, and put dirt on top of the pipe to allow the water to go through the pipe and down underground to the creek. At least that's the plan. So yeah, we're off to another project. This was designed by the District Conservation Department, or District Soil and Water rather, not conservation. But anyhow, the object is is to stop erosion. So it's been eroding pretty good here since we graded it, and probably before then. Just so happened that it probably made it a little worse. But I did put a bunch of fescue on here, and this grass, I can't think of the name of it. But anyhow, that stuff right there is unbelievable. It does a great job of protecting the soil. Fescue does a pretty good job of protecting the soil as well. But I'm in the process now of getting my rotary laser or laser level, whatever you want to call it, lined out to be able to shoot the heights and depths of what I need to make this work. I've already got a benchmark nail down here in a tree that they already engineered or surveyed it with before. I just got to hook it up or measure my rod with that and do some math and hopefully come out right. But yeah, that's what a drop pipe looks like before it's put in the ground. I had that built, and looks like I did a pretty good job building it. But let's go ahead and, well, better yet, I'm going to go ahead and get this laser level lined out here and plug in my numbers and see how much dirt I'm going to have to put down that ditch that we saw in order to drain this properly. So yeah, and then install the pipe. That's what we got going. I'll try to bring you along most of the way, and yeah, we'll go from there, and hopefully you all learn something. Hopefully I learned something. Hopefully I don't screw up too bad. But yep, till next time, love it here. So I just dipped this out a little bit from the side here to smooth out the bottom a little bit. It's not perfect, but this ground is so soft and so fluffy. As you can see, it's just, there's a worm. It's just so fluffy that if the pipe is just a little bit too high, I'll be able to push it down just a little bit. So I didn't want to cut too much out of it. I dug out a spot right there. You really can't tell now, but I dug a little deeper there to put the anti-seep collar. That's the location where that's going to go. So it's actually going to be in that area. The end of the pipe is going to be sticking out about a foot above the water down there. I used the CX210 case to dig this out. Getting ready to go get the drop pipe, bring it down here. Well, first I've got to use my level there, laser level, if you want to call it that, to make sure my grade is correct in the depth. If it's not, I'll pull a little bit more out. But up here is the drop pipe. Getting ready to put some chains around it, carry it down there and set it in place. Stop falling. I have to get down in there. Time to backfill. And just like that, the drop pipe project is now on a rain delay. Just started pouring down rain. The good thing about it is I finished up putting the berm behind the drop pipe and smoothed out the ditch in front of it. So hopefully it'll work. The back side of the berm where the pipe is not finished, but I've got at least 8 or 10 feet of berm moved, dirt moved to put up a berm around the back side of the pipe. I don't know, I probably hauled 60, 70, 80 loads of dirt with a skid steer, which doesn't haul a lot, but it does haul enough to get a job done. But it's going to take at least that much more to finish it. Oh yeah, this is the cover crop here. It is over my head, and you can see that is Australian winter peas, I believe, growing up the stems of the cereal rod. So yeah, it hasn't stopped raining, I don't think, in 3 weeks, which we needed rain, but man, I'm ready to start planting. All right, till next time, we'll get there. I'm still in the drop pipe project. I haven't got to do anything for the last couple days just because of the creek. The creek's coming up. We've got a lot of rain, and we're supposed to be getting some more rain. So I've got to put an excavator and equipment up here on the old railroad track so that we don't flood out. I'm not saying it's going to flood, but we're supposed to be getting another inch, almost an inch tonight. So I'm coming up here to get the equipment on high ground. All right, so I've got the equipment up on high ground. It's on the old railroad track, and like I said, we're supposed to be getting some more rain. Creek's already high. There's the skid loader, compact track loader, whatever you want to call it, an excavator. It should not ever get wet or underwater at this point. So yeah, this is the drop pipe installation saga, and we're not finished. It started raining and I was about 60% done or so, or 70. Not quite finished yet, but supposed to get another inch of rain. Could get interesting down here, and hopefully what you saw a while ago of the drop pipe, it doesn't turn into a major catastrophe. So anyhow, stay tuned. Hopefully this will be over with. I'll get it done sooner than later, and we can start getting back to normal. It's just gotten a little bit too wet on us here. Here is my unfinished drop pipe. It's 80%, no, not even that, 50% done. It's pretty muddy down here. But as you can see, there's the top of the pipe. All the water's coming down through here and going into there. I've got somewhat of a dirt mound on top of it. There's actually some more dirt there, but you can't tell because the creek and the rain has covered it. The creek is pretty much filling in the ditch that needs to have dirt in it. I just hope everything stays here. All the dirt that I do have in here stays here. If it does get higher and it doesn't wash away, because then now I've got to find more dirt. Hopefully my pipe stays here. But yeah, it's turned into what you want to call like a quagmire. Not good. Not what I hoped for, not what I wanted. But we just finished the drop pipe installation and used the CX210 here to mound up some dirt from the creek bank. If you remember when I first started the video, the creek bank had a straight drop off and we were having a bunch of erosion right here going off down into the creek. The water from this field right here comes to this point and was going down here, back cutting, taking all this dirt that was there down out of the creek or into the creek. Before I did all this work and pulled this bank back, it was like this, straight up and down. So I pulled the bank back, used the dirt up here, made them somewhat of a berm. And now the water is going to come into this part of the field, hit my berm here, which you can't tell hardly on the video how high it is, but it's probably 3 foot or so high right here, and probably 20 foot back through there. Water's going to be coming down through here, a little bit of an angle to help it drain. And it's going to come down to the low area here. Low basin, I guess, if you want to call it. And this water right here is actually from the old drain tile pipe. If you remember me talking about that, it's seeping out of the ground. I did not run it on out to the creek. I just let it, I just covered it up with dirt, and it's pushing up out of the ground. So there's the inlet of the drop pipe. You can hear that water's actually running down it. I was unable to completely smooth all this up. I'm just going to let it settle out because it was too wet. If you remember or if you saw, the creek got in here and had water all the way back into here. I used some of this dirt back here along the bank to fill this ditch in. It just made it a lot easier to fill it. I left that sycamore here for protection, but there's the end of the pipe going off into the creek. I hope that trees start to seed here, and definitely that canary grass hopefully will take over and make this erosion proof, hopefully. At least that's the plan. So yeah, this project is finished. Took probably, I don't know, 8 hours on the excavator, maybe 3 or 4 on the skid steer compact track loader, the 333E, and we're finished. This berm, I bermed it up and joined into that field right there, or into the edge of the field. So all this water is going to come down through here and go into that pipe. That big ditch that was here will hopefully never happen again. And along with that ditch. That's what we wanted. That was the goal of the project. Let's hope it holds. It should. Don't know why it wouldn't. Everything is now finished. So yeah, we move on to the next project. Living a dream.